CIGTV News Update, I'm Donna Bush. Thanks for joining us. A special weekend meeting held in Miami, Florida brought together leaders of the British Overseas Territories from the region. Discussions focused on the way forward and how best to deal with getting their economies up and going following disasters and how the UK can help.
I think the meeting went as well or better than I possibly could have hoped for, because we've actually made resolutions and we've developed a letter to Lord Ahmad setting out the Overseas Territories' case for assistance in the wake of the hurricanes Irma and Maria. And we've also written a letter to the Prime Minister asking for an audience with her when we are in London in November. I think what we saw today was a very powerful statement about the unity of the Overseas Territories and how much we can actually achieve when we work together. I've said over and over again that last month it was Anguilla, the BVI, and TCI. Next week it could be the Cayman Islands. So we have to approach these issues on the basis that what we do and what we achieve will inure for the benefit of all the territories, not just those who happen to be going through the difficult experience at this time.
Leaders from all 6 British Overseas Territories in the Caribbean and Atlantic region were at the Miami meeting.
Well, I think this was a very important meeting called by the Premier of Cayman, who actually came to visit Anguilla with a large team and some supplies shortly after the storm. And of course, Cayman had suffered a serious hurricane in 2004. I think the name was. But certainly this event that occurred in Anguilla this year was one of the most catastrophic weather events that have occurred in the Caribbean in recorded history. As a consequence, we understand, because of previous experiences, the kind of damage that can occur in situations like these. And it seems as if this storm is an exception. It's not an exception. It's going to be the norm going forward. And obviously the Premier and my other colleagues feel that it merits us coming together and forming a common strategy and approach to dealing with events of this nature. And especially, it's important that as overseas territories, that we speak with one voice when discussing the response of the British government going forward, because it's important for some of the economies which will be affected seriously by this storm. It is obvious that some territories like Anguilla that depend on tourism, and the tourism plant is down almost 75%. There will be no revenues to meet our budgetary shortfalls, and as a consequence we depend on the British government to give us some support in these circumstances. And we want to know that that support is not tentative, but is substantive enough so that we can recover in short order. What I've taken away from this meeting is that we are all on the same page, and that if we work together we can come up with a strategy that will impress on the British government that in addition to the responses that we have in the several territories, we need their support at times like this. And we are not, as overseas territories, a part of the Foreign and Consular Office. Precisely, we should be a part of the Home Office, because we are part of the United Kingdom. And the kind of support we should have is similar to the support that any county or city in the United Kingdom should have when there's a disaster. So that's what we're looking at.
Meantime, on Friday, annual Literacy Fest celebrations were held at Her Majesty's Cayman Islands Prison Service. The event took place in Northwood Prison's courtyard and chapel areas and included performances of songs, poetry, and music by inmates and special invited guests. The idea behind the event is for inmates to showcase their literacy skills and talents during Literacy Fest, which is held to celebrate literacy programs and achievements within the Cayman Islands Prison Service. Well, the Health Services Authority has expanded its fire marshal program to Cayman Brac. The steps have been taken to protect patients from health and safety risks while on any of its premises. So far, In 2017, 13 staff of the Faith Hospital in Cayman Brac have completed the United Kingdom accredited basic fire safety awareness and fire marshal courses. Launched by the HSA in 2016, so far 38 staff on Grand Cayman have been trained this year, bringing the total complement of employees operating as fire marshals across the HSA to a total of 94. A graduation ceremony was held recently at the Cayman Islands Hospital and for the first time at the Faith Hospital, where the new batch of marshals were presented with badges and certificates. All of the HSA staff members volunteer to be part of the program, and they continue to perform their daily and monthly marshal duties on a voluntary basis. Finally, if you missed today's news update, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page and the CIG Television YouTube channel. For now, I'm Donna Bush, as always, thanking you for joining me. Hoping you do the same again on Tuesday evening. Until then, have a safe and wonderful night.